every market cycle, there is a moment of truth, a moment when a company must choose.
Ladies and gentlemen, our group is named Talk Make It Group. Today, our group will present about investment report, a case study, the interesting case study of Novaland, sticker NVL, and our lecturer is William Yi. Okay, let's move on the slide. Okay, this is our presentation team. My full name is Phương Kim Hoàng Vương. I'm a leader of team. Nguyễn Thanh Tuyền, Cao Lê Vũ, Thị Kim Tuyển are our member. And our presentation divided form and contents of the report like that. Firstly, we will dive in the case introduction. Secondly, the financial analysis. Number 3, that's a non-financial analysis. And number 4, the stock evaluation and investment decision. Okay, and our objective in our presentation, that's to evaluate the NVL's financial health and investment potential amidst in the real estate market downturn. Today, we are going to explore Choosant, one of the hottest small influential industry in Vietnam, the real estate sector. And that one is Novaland, sticker NVL. And this is not just another company. This is the corporation that set skylines, built cities, and created dreams for millions of Vietnamese families. But every design has a story of the rise of the challenge and of the transformation. So let's dive and discover who Novaland really is, their journey, their trends, and their struggles. Okay, let's move on about the company overview. Novaland is one of the Vietnamese leading real estate investment and development groups with more than 32 years of growth. Novaland now owns a portfolio of over 50 real estate projects, leaving a strong mark in urban development and the tourism across southern and south central Vietnam. The group has contributed significantly to economic growth, urban transformation, and social welfare in many local areas. Okay, Mr. Bùi Thành Nhân, the chairman of board, founder. He founded Novaland in 1992, although originally worked in veterinary medicine. He led a shift into the real estate and achieved outstanding success. Experience and role. Mr. Nhân is considered the son of Novaland. After stepping back for several years, he's officially returned the chairman in early 2023, right at the peak of the market and financial crisis. The government to resolve legal obstacles, especially for key projects in Đồng Nai, Bình Thuận. Mr. Dương Văn Bắc, the CEO, appointed November 2024. Background, he holds the Master of the Finance and the Banking MEBL from CFVC and previously had a senior position at Nexan Group, the SZ. Experience, Mr. Bắc is a finance veteran with more than 17 years of experience, specializing in the capital, fundraising, M&A, and evaluation. Okay, let's move on about the corporate governance structure. General meeting the shareholders, the board of directors, BOD, the strategic brain, BOD office, just like the coordination hub, audit committee, that's in the financial seal, ESG risk, quality management committee, that's in the safety and the sustainability gradient, HR and compensation committee, that's in leadership, architect, product management, this is the second engine. Okay, let's move on to corporate and services. Novaland key business pillars. Novaland focus on 3 major product lines, creating a diverse and scalable real estate ecosystem. Firstly, the urban real estate, the premium city living. These are the luxury apartment and office complexes located in the heart of Ho Chi Minh City, such as the Prang, Mạnh Nha Trang, and Sunrise City. They use Novaland cash generating machine, providing stable revenue and a strong brand recognition. Secondly, satellite townships, next generation eco cities. There's a lot of scalable eco townships built in the growing suburban areas around Ho Chi Minh City. For example, our city in Nai 100 hectares. And finally, this is hospitality and the tourism real estate integrated the main results. This will look like include the world-class tourism entertainment, like such as Nova Hotel. Okay, let's move on. Rap history. When we look at the Novaland 30 years journey, we can summarize one of the symbols which made a synth wave and explosive growth to the history phone. I want you to focus on the radical phases on the screen. The capital injection and the hyper phases 2016 to 2021. 2016 Novaland was officially listed on host, opening to the door to massive public fundraising for every first year. 2022 or 2021 was the peak of the financial leverage when Novaland issues the convertible bonds in Singapore. Here flow the capital grew into the plans acquisition and the simultaneous development of the mirror tech. And finally, that is the breaking bonds and losses by 2022 to resent. Maybe the restructuring, but in reality, this were beginning of the crisis. And you can look at the slide, inventory reality check, the heavyweight of industry. Today, Novaland is ranking top 1 in inventory among on real estate developers in Vietnam, reaching over VND 152 trillion as of September 30, 2025. That's a 4% increasing beginning of the year and account for the 63% of the total access. Okay, to understand why Novaland fell into the success at the deep crisis, we cannot look only at the company itself. We need to zoom out to see the entire landscape of the Vietnam real estate industry, a battlefield that's both brutal and unpredictable. In industry, the competitor analysis, Vietnam real estate sector is extremely cyclical and heavily the capital is extensive. The market leader like Vinhomes, VHM, packaged by Vingroup, dominates the game with their superior financial strength and the massive spleen land bank. The challenger group is right behind Novaland, but here lies a critical difference. While the competitor like NLZ, Nam Long or Hang Ding, KDH should flow but south, especially with conversative financial structure. And finally, let's see the macro shock. And then in the storm hit late 2022. The huge stimulus led the stock shook in the entire industry, greatest tightening, and finally the bond market breeze. You can look at the slide. It's a big problem, right? Yeah, with the media floating with the highlights, Novaland has not escaped losses, and we are chairman apologize in a series of negative news surrounding NVL. The races had never been stronger, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it ring. The first one in the numbers lift before audit, the profit of 345 billion. After audit, record loss 7,000 billion in one signature, nearly 7,700 billion evaporated. Why? One word, legality, the single attack, Lakeview City, forced a provision of 4,000 billion. It is more than 30 hectares. The check can do this. It's made a risk of looking in the hundreds of the thousands of billions of inventory as a mirror checks like our city. The reality, that's a the cast is writing up. Auditor are questioning the going concern. Novaland rules too big to fail is a myth. The sun is standing on the field of lake. This is the race self-access or default. And finally, of the case introduction. Schwartz matrix of Novaland. Let's talk about the strengths in internal ventures. The strength given Novaland had a power asset base, including its land park inventory and land reserves, and diverse and diversified project portfolio is managed well. They can be transformed into long-term financial resources and sustainable profitability. However, these strengths must be evaluated together with the risk factors because the larger the assets are the greater the cost related to the management, the legal procedures, working the capital, and debt obligation. Weaknesses, these weaknesses are extremely serious. If Novaland failed to manage the leverage cash flow and the legal issues, there is a lot of land bank and the massive inventory may become liabilities rather than assets. This is the real estate sector and combination of land park, unfinished project, heavy debt. This is surely double-edged word. And I would like to Nguyễn Thanh Tuyền to talk about the financial health in this case.
My name is Thanh Tuyền, and today I will presentation about the financial health. Firstly, I will show you about the first chart. It's showing about the profit margin from 2021 to Q3 2025. The Novaland is in a financial debt spiral. The return on sales ROS profit from the profit to the deep losses. The meaning the core business is actively losing money. Beside the ROS, we have the return on excess. ROA is near zero. It's showing the company assets are highly inefficient. And thirdly, we have the return on the equity. ROE has the collapsed. Although there's a slight uptick in the Q3 2025, it's misleading. Equity has been nearly wiped out. And the negative ROS triggered a chain reaction. Its losses are multiplying, equity is vanishing, and the company faces severe insolvency risks without urgent restructuring. The Novaland may not survive with the market decision. Next, I will show you the figure 2 is showing about the sales and profit from the 2021 to the 3Q 2025. The district revealed the roof of the Novaland collapse. The sales peaked in 2021 at nearly 15 trillion Vietnam dong. Then they rose sharply. There was a partial recovery in 2024, but sales declined again in 2025, and the net profit collapsed in the period 3. You can see on the chart, it's followed by the massive losses. The 4.4 trillion in 2024 and 1.15 trillion in 2025. That despite rising revenue, profit worsened, proving the business model inefficient, its operating costs, capital expensive, and interest burden likely exploded. The making more sales equal more losses. These deep losses eroded equity, triggered negative ROS and ROE, and the running cash flow. The Novaland isn't just losing money, it's just also the burning cash to the survivors case. And the last one, I will show you about the trend chart of the short-term debt and the long-term debt. About the 2021 to the Q3 2025. This chart shows a mature shift in the Novaland debt strategies. The short-term debt rose steadily from the 49 billion to the nearly 115 billion Vietnam dong. The long-term debt peaked in 2022 at over 347 billion. Then they dropped sharply to 74 billion by the Q3 2025. This reflects a pivot from the long-term borrowing to the short-term financing. The short-term debt offers flexibility but increases the liquidity risks and refinancing the pressure. The decline in the long-term debt may indicate the company projects our cautious approach to the long-term obligation. By the Q3 2025, the short-term debt have assessed long-term debt, raising concern about the financial stability. So, summary about through three charts that I show you. There's the Novaland financial health has the deteriorated sharply from the 2021 to the Q2 2025. The company's car business is unprofitable, exclusive are the accelerating, and equity nearly the whip out. Despite some revenue recovery, the business model remains in effection, and the debt restructuring has the shift bricks toward short-term obligation. Without a decisive action, the Novaland faces escalating insolvency risks and a critical need for the strategic overhaul to avoid a collapse. So next is the non-financial by Vũ presentation.
Hello everyone, my name is Vũ, and next up is my presentation focusing on Novaland non-financial analysis issues. This serves as the evidence of strategy transition from a private pro model to one centered on risk management and sustainability. Novaland's commitment is clearly demonstrated by the establishment of the ESG committee in mid-2023 and the announcement of the 2025 to 2030 strategic roadmap. In terms of governance, Novaland has strengthened transparencies and established a policy to screen 50% of new suppliers based on environmental and social criteria. Regarding environment E, the group has achieved its target of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 10% compared to the 2022 baseline and is committed to applying EDGE LEED standard for new projects. Next slide. Moving on the social as factor, you can also sharp reduction in personnel, dropping from 1,765 people in 2021 to just 1,091 in 2023. This is decisive action aimed at optimizing operating expenses, OPEX, despite a significant decrease in CSR expenditures. Novaland has maintained a customer retention rate of 50%, proving that core service quality remains unaffected. Next slide. Next is the financial linkage. When examining the tech contribution index, you see you serve drop from 2,291 billion Vietnam dong in 2021 to 758 billion Vietnam dong in 2023. The reaction from G to F, Novaland has implemented a fixed price contract policies and established the ESG committee. The action had mitigated cost volatility risk, thereby stabilizing future gross profit, reducing OPEX through personal cuts as directly enhances the predictability of free cash flows, FCF. And next slide. In summary, ESG enables the group to better manage risk and optimize both the cost of capital and operating expenses. All of these data represent the core input for the valuation model. The key policies have reduced the discourage WACC and DS efficiency lead to more stable free cash flows. And now I invite Kim Tuyển to continue with the stock valuation segment. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Thị Kim Tuyển. In this session, I will present the stock evaluations and investment decision for Novaland. We will look at how Novaland stock price changed from the 2021 to 2025. Let's start with the first year. Next slide. In 2021, Novaland was its strongest point. As you can see on the chart, the stock price reached around 121,000 in London, which is more than double its earlier levels. Why did Novaland grow so much? The company expanded its land bank. It launched big projects like our city and Novaworld. The real estate market was very positive, so investor confidence was high. Financially, Novaland was stable. Interest expense were about 514 billion Vietnam dong, showing that the company still has a healthy capital structure. Overall, 2021 was a Novaland best and most successful year. Next slide. In 2022, the situation changed weekly. The stock price fell sharply to only around 10,000 to the 50,000, a hard drop from peak. So what's called this? The corporate market crisis, tight credit policies from banks, and strong liquidity pressures on real estate company. Because our dollar interest expense increases to around 8 844 billion, about 64% higher than in 2021. Investors lost confidence and the company faced heavy debt pressure. This was the lowest and most difficult period for Novaland. Next slide. In 2023, Novaland started to stabilize. As the chart shows, the stock price moved around 14,000 to 20,000 instead of falling further. This happened when Novaland began financial restructuring, including the first is extending pawn payment deadlines, the second is reducing costs, and the final is improving and stabilizing cash flow. These trends have the Novaland slowly recover after the difficult years of 2022. This year marks the first step of recovery. Next slide. In 2024, the results of restructuring became clearer. Its interest expense dropped to 327 billion, much lower than in 2022. Financial cash flow became positive, nearly 2,956 billion. Investor confidence started to return. The stock price continued to stay in the 14,000 to 20,000 range, showing that the market was becoming more stable. Overall, 2024 was a stabilizing year where Novaland strengthens its financial foundation. And next slide, in the 2025, we can see clear sign of recovery. The stock price increases to around 27 to 28,000, more than 130% higher than the bottom. Novaland even outperformed the Vietnam index. Some key reasons include expected tax provisions reversal for the Lakeview City project. Novaland still had a large inventory value of the 150,000 billion, which can spark new growth. Better macro conditions, lower interest rates, and improved infrastructure. These factors have Novaland enter a new recovery phase. And next slide. For this slide, our recommendation for Novaland is a speculative buy. In simple terms, we think the stock is quite risk, but it also has good upside if the recovery continues. So it may be suitable for investors who accept high risk and willing to hold for the long term, believe in Novaland and the Vietnamese real estate market, but it's not really for long-term traders or people who only want very safe stock. And the final slide. Oh, it's so done. Thank you for your listening.